Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to talk about Microsoft Word and how to lay out a great document. I see a lot of people use Word and they can lay out a basic document over a few pages, but it's not always the most efficient way they can do it, and if that document was to run into 100 pages or so, it'd take just as long to format the document as it would to write it. So what I want to show you today is some really great stuff just to make that document a lot easier to format correctly. So I'm just going to open up my my example here, my bad example. Okay, and I've got a title page with a main title, a subtitle, some headings, some paragraph text, subheadings, and even sub-subheadings. Scroll through that now just to show you that document. So I'm just going to put my mouse cursor over some of this stuff, and you can see it's all the same font. If I go to the font heading, so this is the main heading for my page. It's font size 20, same font. Subheading, same thing, 16. Font size 16 again, and same for the subheadings and so on and so forth. Looks like a great document. Problem is if I want to change this document, if I don't like the font, how do I change it quickly? Well, I can't. That's the issue. So if I was to, just do this and say I wanted a different font, I'm just going to say that for now. Nothing changes. And if I was to change, say this one, say I was highlight it, and let's again just change that. It's a terrible font, isn't it? That's a little bit. That's better. So I've changed one paragraph there. Now, like I say, this isn't a big document, so I could quickly go through and change that all the way through. I'm not going to do that, I'm just proving a point there. If that was a 100-page document, that would take some time to go through and change all those paragraphs to a new font. And the exact same thing applies to the headings. This second heading is underlined, doesn't really fit with the style of the rest of the document. I want to take off the underlines. So I've done that, but if you look down here, I've got to then repeat that. And again, like I say, small document, it's not a problem. It's only going to take me 30 seconds to fix that at most. What if it's a 100-page document? So what I'm going to show you next is how to lay out a really great document, and if it's 100 pages long and you want to change the font of all your paragraphs with just one click, I'm going to show you how to do that. So first things first, I'm going to open up a new Word document and just right click on that and click on Word, and I want a blank document. So this is how you do lay out a Word document correctly. So I'm just going to go back to my bad example. I'm going to select everything in this document, save typing up a new document. So I did Control A there to select all, and I'm going to do Control C to copy. I'm going to do Control V to paste. Now you see this little option down here. I'm just going to change this option, so I'm going to keep the text only. I don't want to keep the formatting that I've done before because it wasn't a very good example. And there we go. So everything's in the same style at this moment in time. So one thing you might have noticed is as soon as I've changed that style, this big heading has come back down onto the first page. I don't want that because it's a title page. That should start on page 2. The reason that's happened is when I've done this document, I've done that and then I've done enter a load of times, and as I've hit enter, I've gone until I'm on the new page. As I've gone back to a smaller font, that gap's come down, so this has come back onto a page. It's not the greatest way to lay out a document, so I'm just going to bring that back up here. There we go. What I should have done, and what would have stopped that from happening, is this ribbon up the top here. You've got a bunch of options. One of those is insert, and I'm going to go to that now. And then I want to click on page break. So it ends the current page and moves this all onto a new page. So click that. There we go. Brilliant. That's how I want it laid out. So if I change the style again, unless this page was to go onto page 2, it wouldn't come back onto page 1 or anything like that. So that's much better than just hitting enter a load of times. Page break. I'm just going to take out the tab because I don't want that either. Just prove that, look, if I keep pressing enter, it's not affecting the document below it. If I hadn't used page break and I was hitting enter there, everything on page 2 would also be going down a few lines at the same time. So just put that back. So as I said, this is my title page. So I'm going to highlight that there, and as you can see, it's set to normal, and everything in this document is set to normal at the moment. What I want to do is, again, on this ribbon, you can see I've got some options here, and it's not limited to that. You can select other options, and there are all your options there. I'm just going to close that because we're only going to use the default ones today. So I said it was a title page, so I'm going to give that the style of title. And for this one, I'm just going to get rid of that full stop, don't need that there. That's the subtitle. I'm just going to change badly to good. This isn't the bad example anymore, this is a good example. There we go, that's my title page sorted. And I'm just going to go through and I'm going to do the same with some of the other elements in the document. So that's the main heading for that this section, so heading 1. I'm going to put a line in between that and the paragraph. Heading 2. Heading 3. It's a new section there, so heading 1. So I'm just going to put a line between that. Heading 2. Heading 3. So that was a sub heading. I'm just going to put the line under there as well. As you can see, the issue with putting that line there is that that's now on the end of that second page, and the section actually starts on page 3. That doesn't look that great, so I'm just going to insert another page break. There we go, that looks a bit better. So there we go. Now you're probably thinking that took a little bit of time, but the idea is that you're doing this as you type the document. So you do this as you go along, it's all already in place. You haven't got to go through at the end and do this. And what does that allow me to do? Well, I showed you before that if I highlighted this and I changed the font size, I've got to go through and highlight every other paragraph in my document to change that font size. Now if I was just to change the font size here, it still wouldn't affect the rest of the document. What this allows me to do is change the styles, and that's the powerful stuff. So I'm just going to go to the ribbon again, and we've got something called design up here. I'm just going to take the highlight off there. Now Word comes with some built-in themes, and I can just go through those and show you those examples. And as you see, as I'm hovering over them, it's showing me what my document will be like if I select that style. It's actually colours, I believe, as well as anything. So I'll just go through some of these as well. And you can see every element that I've set there, so the title, the subtitle, headings, paragraphs, they're all changing at the same time. Really quick stuff. So if you've got a 100-page document, before you're about to go through, highlight everything you wanted to change it, highlight the next thing, so on and so forth. With this, I can go through the default styles and just select one. So I'm just going to pick one now. There's quite a colourful one somewhere that was quite a good example. Not one I'd probably use, but it's good enough for this video. So there we go, that's changed every element in that document in just a couple of clicks. Far quicker, as I say, than if you've got a 100-page document. So that's one way you can change the styles. But what if you want a little bit more control over this? So that's the great thing. For me, the colours are good. You know, the issue I've got is there's not a lot of differentiation between the headings apart from the colour. So maybe I just want to change the size of the heading 1. So as I said before, what I would have done is highlighted this, increased the font size, highlighted this, done the same again. Because I've set these things to the same style, I can just do it a lot quicker. Like I say, imagine a big document here. So I want to modify the heading 1 style. So what I did was I right clicked and I'm going to click modify. Okay, and we've got some stuff there. So style based on, that's an interesting one, because if you change the normal style, so say you were to change the font of normal, that would affect the font of this as well. So always be wary of that one. I just want to increase the font size a little bit. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to make this obvious actually. I'm going to go for 24. I'll go for 22 and I'll underline it. Say I wouldn't do this in real life, but I'm just showing you how powerful this is. I want to automatically update everything in my document. And click OK on that. There we go. You see it's changed both headings in one click. like I say, now imagine you've got, like I say, 100 headings. You wanted to change all those using the previous way of doing things. You've got to highlight 100 and do all those. It's going to take you a good few minutes to go through those. All I've done here is change one style, and that's affecting my whole document. And you can do that for any of the styles. So as I said, I was just going to show you the normal, what happens if I modify the normal style, because other stuff is based off this. What happens if I change the font? Let's change it to something pretty obvious. Let's change it to Arial. That should be a big change. So although it hasn't affected everything, it's affected this subtitle. It's left these alone. They're still Calibri. And there we go. That's how you can change styles. So there's one final thing I want to show you before I end this video, and that's another reason for using this layout. So if this is a big document, you've got hundreds of pages, somebody's going to be reading that, they want to flick around the document, they're probably going to want a good table of contents so they know where stuff is. With the previous style of document, I'd have to create that table of contents manually. I'd have to look for the page number and say, yep, it's on this page. It's not a great way of doing it for a big document. So what I'm going to do is insert a blank page, because table of contents normally goes at the front. There we have my blank page. Okay, now we've got the ribbon up here, and there's lots of options on here, but I want to do table of contents. So table of content is a reference. And up the top left here, we've got table of contents. And I'm just going to go ahead and enter in that one. And there we go. That's created a table of contents because I've been sensible with my word layout, and I've called those heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. And that's reflected up here. I'm just going to prove that to you. I'm just going to go to the end of my document here. I'm going to create a new section. Okay, so that hasn't updated there. How do I update that? Well, I right click and I click update field. I've added a new heading this time, so I want to update the entire table. That page number 1's really good actually. If you've changed the layout of your document, you've used page break or put some blank pages in and the page numbers are changing, just update the page numbers. But I want to update the entire table, so I'm just going to click OK. There we have it. This is my new example section, and that's what I called that down there. Really powerful, really great for Word document layout. Hope this video has been useful for you. I'll be back next week with another video, and this has been digistuff.co.uk. Thanks for watching.